What's going on, guys? It's the Space Wizard here, and I'm going to react to another creator's video.
In fact, the most interesting thing about these two characters, Osha and May, you barely explore.
Now, one of the cool things is we get not one, but two flashback episodes showing Osha and May's story, plus an additional narrative from the Jedi explaining how Osha was trained to be a Jedi.
Even here, which is that they are apparently two halves of the same person.
Two halves of the same person honestly sounds like what the sequel trilogy tried to do with Rey and Ben. They were a dyad, two halves of the same person in the Force.
Now, I'm sure somewhere on Leslie Headland's writer's room board, there is it says season 2, blah, blah.
Now, don't get me wrong when I say this. I'd love a season 2, but I don't feel like we need one because the story explained everything so well.
Blah, and that maybe the climax of season 2 is going to be them, or supposed to be them merging back together.
Bro's hoping for some chala, head shala, potara earring fusion type stuff in Star Wars? What? Merging back together? It's weird. It's weird, bro.
Together, coming back together. Trust me, I'll get into the end of this episode as well. But for right now, like there's nothing interesting. So when that moment happens with the helmet.
So the scene with the helmet in my mind parallels the scene in Empire Strikes Back where Luke Skywalker walks into the cave on Dagobah and faces Darth Vader only to see that it is himself underneath the helmet. Now, in my mind, this is an analogy for Luke to discover that Darth Vader is closer to him than he realizes, being his father.
I don't care.
And just like in that scene and in that moment, nobody cared to stop and think, did Osha see Osha killing Soul, or did Osha see May killing Soul? They are twins, after all.
Because I don't understand where it's coming from.
Two flashbacks and a story about how she was a Jedi. It's understandable.
You're showing us cool things. It's like Leslie Headland had a series of really cool scenes in mind. And when you get to those scenes, they gel, they look good, and it ticks us all off.
I'm gonna be quite honest. Any lightsaber fight should look that amazing. Let's be real. We haven't seen good lightsaber fights in a long time.
Because there's nothing... Because how did we get to something so awesome from all the lame duck nonsense?
Quack.
Can anyone tell me that?
It's from my own inference that the story is completely tragic. From the very start, we're introduced to two sisters who are victims of a genocide thanks to the Jedi invading their planet. Even though it really wasn't an invasion, the Jedi made it an invasion. It's also from my own inference that any of these characters that we're witnessing in the Acolyte are already destined for a very tragic fate. Let's face it, Darth Plagueis is in the series. We all know where this leads to. Now, it's already been explained in the narrative. Chimera already said it. A Jedi like you would view me as a Sith. He is not a Sith. He is a poser. A dark-sided, probably fallen Jedi apprentice who's figured out something, and guess who's on his tail? Darth Plagueis. Because why would Plagueis want the secret of the Sith coming out before he intended them to release themselves? Season 2, no season 2. I don't feel like I need one because I understood the entire plot. Media literacy didn't fail me. I saw it from beginning to end. Maybe try rewatching it in a different order. Start with episode 3, then watch episode 7, then watch every other episode leading after that. Maybe that might help you, in turn, understand it just a little bit better so you don't have to break away from the mainline time just to kind of catch back up after a flashback. But in reality, this is about the sequels too, because if you don't watch them, you don't have the understanding of what a dyad is or how Osha and May can be two different people, but also be one.
If all your response in the comments to me is going to be well, you just don't get it or you just don't understand or whatever else, bro, stop.
I had fun reacting to your video just as much as I hope you have fun watching me react to your video. And hopefully, hey, maybe we can talk about this some more, because not everybody's understanding the Acolyte as it seems.
You come at me with intelligence, you come at me with knowledge.